What's your economic policy there?
Our economic policy is that the banks need to be within the government. Let's talk about the Reserve Bank.
But the Reserve Bank is not a commercial bank. I'm talking about a bank that affects you and I, where I've got an account. I don't have an account in the Reserve Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, so what banks must be owned by government? The AEF government will take ABSA, will take Capitec, will take FNB,
yes,
will take Nedbank,
yeah,
and then they will be owned by government.
yes.
So it could help people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know what law are you going to use to pass that, to make it happen? I just want you to be consistent. Is Ramaphosa corrupt?
According to my statement, he is not.
He's not corrupt?
Yes.
Okay, so you are withdrawing the statement to say
Yes.
Ramaphosa is
Yes.
corrupt. Okay, so in other words, we only call people corrupt after they come back from court.
Proven by law. Yeah.
Is Jacob Zuma corrupt?
Yeah, I will say Zuma is one of the leaders.
Before we get to the next question,
Yes.
was there animosity when your president Mthethwa left the EFF, or he voluntarily left?
He voluntarily left the EFF. It was not because there was something bad he did or something bad within the. But I'm thinking that it's just a matter of different ideologies.
Okay.
To say, but we want things, especially, let me say, especially when you check the approach of the EFF most of the time.
Oh, okay.
They are more into violence.
Oh.
They are more, even in parliament, you see them causing. You must also acknowledge that the issue of homosexual is something that stands on the way of God. And also it's a program coming from the USA, coming from Europe, introducing it within the Africa. All the minerals within the country need to benefit all the South Africans. And it is wrong to say South Africa belongs to all who live in it. South Africa must belong to all South Africans. It can't belong to everyone who is within South Africa.
Okay.
It is wrong, and that needs to be corrected.
Okay.
It is wrong to say your house belongs to everyone who comes in it.
Yes. So here's the question. Someone sitting at home will be like, Chabalala, Uchuakai. So I want to give you an opportunity to tell people, where are you from? And why do you speak like this? Because they say everyone living in
My name is Gauteng Chairperson. I'm from the AEF as a provincial chairperson. AEF simply stands for African Economic Freedom.
African Economic Freedom.
Under the leadership of Comrade President Mthethwa.
All right. Tate Chabalala, tell us where's your base? Where are you seated? Are you seated in Natal? Are you seated in Gauteng? Where's your stronghold?
I'm currently based in Tembisa.
You're okay?
Ekurhuleni region in Gauteng.
In Gauteng. That's yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
But our president is basically in KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal?
Mthethwa region.
Okay.
Yes.
I've seen that. That's why I'm asking, where are you guys based?
Yes.
Let's talk about the president a bit. So those who have not watched our previous podcast that we have made with Mthethwa's Youth League, I want him, because this is almost a reaction coming from that. The leadership of AEF contacted me and said they have not authorized that podcast. So this is more like a cleanup of the previous podcast, and because they want to correct some few things regarding that podcast. So I want to give him so he can explain that part as to what happened and why wasn't there any authorization. Tete Chabalala, please take us through while I'm just fixing some few things. Please continue. Just explain how you as leadership found the performance of your youth leader who came here and you feel he has not done you justice and you want to correct it. Just continue while I'm fixing something.
Thank you very much. As the leadership of the AEF, the African Economic Freedom, within the province, we have seen the clips that has been going around the social media, and we realized that the person is just our member, but he was not authorized to come and represent the party. And then the national office, therefore, responded by saying, myself as a provincial chairperson, I need to come and represent the party, and indicate also that we want to apologize for what really transpired in the past broadcast. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here basically to represent the party. I'm authorized from the national office to come and represent at the provincial level. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming through. For the record, what I have done is I met the comrades who were doing their campaign. I explained this to the president, comrades Fiso Mthethwa, to say I found them. I explained myself. I gave them my contact. This is what I do. If you are interested in selling your party to our audience, people would be interested. And we started working, and there was no problem until it landed to your office. Yes, but I'm glad that's where we are now, and there's no animosity. And the young man, he has done his best to represent the party. Yes. But being that as it may, I said I want to start with the character of the president himself. So the president was, that's your phone? Yeah, you might want to put it on. The president himself, he was a member of parliament for the EFF, right? And he left EFF at which year was it?
The president left the EFF probably last year.
Last year.
Before the formation of the AEF.
Okay.
In February 2023.
Okay, so AEF is February 2023.
Yes, that is where the party was formally established.
So what is the
by the president?
Okay, when was your party formed?
In February 2023.
Hey man.
Yes.
Oh, good timing.
And after the formation, we started the process to register with the IEC.
Okay.
Around March, and we finally registered with the IEC in June 2023.
2023. Your registration was okay?
Our registration was correct, and there was some few confusions on the logos and the stuff, but
so you kept on refining.
To rectify some of the things, and then we end up saying we have fully complied with whatever the IEC wanted.
The signature issues you are sorted?
Yeah, we are sorted.
In all provinces?
We exist in all provinces, although when we count the number of members, each provinces are not the same, but we are there in all provinces.
So are you targeting for provincial election in all 9 provinces?
We are fully registered with the IEC, and we are contesting election in all 9 provinces.
Okay.
And remember the ballot paper for the current general election, we have 3 ballot papers, which is the national, which is the provincial, And moving from the provincial, then we got the regional one. So we are there fully, and we have complied with all the registration requirements. We paid up, the IEC wants a lot of money.
Yes.
In order to stop new political parties to come and contest.
Yes.
But we want to thank our president. We managed to register and comply with all the registration in order to be on the ballot paper.
Okay. Fair question that everyone who sits there is asked this question, and that's why we asked it in the previous podcast with your youth leader. Who is funding you?
Currently, at the AEF, there is no one who is funding us. All the money that we are having to register and everything, that is the money that we raise within ourselves. But we are looking forward to get one. Because when we look at the whole part of campaigning in all the provinces, that is a certain need of financial muscles.
That's why I was asking.
To do that. So we need the funders, and we indicated even before that those who are willing to come and fund our political parties, we are available for any discussion on that. We'll discuss the funding part.
So as it were now, this is mid-March 2024.
Yes.
You have not received monies from other people.
We haven't received anything from either political leaders within the country, outside, or any political funders. We haven't received anything.
Do you understand why I'm asking you this question, right? I'm asking you this question based on the fact that there are certain declarations that are needed from certain political parties. It may not involve you, but I'm just saying people would want me to ask you this question because they would think, no, those ones are given money because they want to chow down numbers for EFF. So it's a fair question, and I hope you understand it.
Yes.
So you say by now you have not received any money.
We don't have anyone who's funding us.
So it's within you, and you think there are people that you will not receive money from? It's a question. Do you have people that you say, no, these ones we will not take money from?
No, we don't have.
You don't have anyone. You welcome any money?
We were expecting anyone to come and assist in the funding. Hence, I must indicate that we are not the EFF.
Yes.
And we are not the ANC. Ideologically, we are more different to all these political parties, because our ideology or our main focus or our main drive, what is driving the AEF, is economic emancipation of all the South African people and all the African people within the continent.
Okay. What are your... before we get to the next question, was there animosity when your president, Mthethwa, left the EFF, or he voluntarily left?
He voluntarily left the EFF. It was not because there was something bad he did or something bad within the... But I'm thinking that it's just a matter of different ideologies.
Okay.
To say, but we want things, especially, let me say, especially when you check the approach of the EFF most of the time. They are more into violence. They are more, even in parliament, you see them causing violence. But our approach is different. To say, yes, there are things that are not right, there are corruption and the stuff. But in the approach, we are saying violence cannot be the solution.
Okay. So that is Mthethwa is a pastor. Is he a pastor?
Yeah, I can say he's a pastor, but he's not a pastor. The person who is a pastor is actually our national chairperson, who is Hamilton Mthethwa.
Okay.
They are brothers.
Okay.
They are family members. I think that's the one who is a bishop. Not our president. Our president is a politician. Remember, he was a member of the ANC.
Okay.
And he was a member of the EFF.
Okay.
So, and he was the provincial secretary of KwaZulu-Natal of the EFF.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are his political credentials.
Yes.
For you, when did you, so you obviously it means you started in February, or you got it earlier. Your party, when did you join?
I joined the AEF in March 2023.
Okay.
When the party was introduced in Gauteng. I joined this particular movement as a member, not as a chairperson.
Yes.
I served as a member. I also served as a Gauteng secretary, provincial secretary, before I become the provincial chairperson.
Okay.
Yes.
What were your previous political involvement?
Previously, I will say I was a member of the ANC.
Okay.
And I left the ANC during the conflict.
What is the conflict?
COVID-19.
Oh, COVID. Yes.
You must remember during COVID-19 there were some issues where churches were closed.
Yes.
So I was worried because that was done by the ANC.
Yeah.
Then I left the ANC to join Pastors Against Church Closure.
Oh. Was that?
We were a formation of pastors and under Africa Wamaila.
Okay.
Which is now turned to become a political party called ACUM.
Oh.
So ACUM, I left ACUM to join AEF.
Oh, okay.
So basically, my political home was the ANC, but now I'm currently with the AEF.
Okay, no.
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So let's get to the merits of the previous podcast, and other questions will come as we answer.
Yes.
What is it about the previous podcast specifically that you want to correct?
We want to correct the fact that we are not the AEF. That's point number one. And we want to apologize for our member also. We apologize for those who will be listening to this podcast that initially there was no authorization for anyone within the province to come and represent the party within a radio station like this one. And we want to thank this opportunity. And that is what we wanted to correct in the previous one, to say we are not the EFF, we can't be compared to any political party. And we don't even want to compare ourselves with any political party, basically because look at the ANC. The ANC is having 113 years. So when you start a political party, it must be a means of or a vision of ideologically. You must be different to what other political parties are bringing on the table. So that is the thing. We don't want to associate us with any political party, although we know that our president is coming from another party. Even myself, I'm coming from another party.
Yes.
The most important part is that it is not assisting or helping when you see a political party like the ANC having a good policy, having all these things. Everything is good when you check the policy of the ANC. But it's never implemented. So it's just a document that is written and that cannot be implemented.
Yeah.
So in our case, we are saying we want economic freedom.
So you will implement?
We are going to push the agenda of economic freedom, and we are going to implement it once the people can trust and vote the EEF.
Okay.
And I must indicate that we are having a manifesto launch within the province on the 6th of April 2024 at Atteridgeville Community Hall. We will share the details as time goes on. Starting from next week, we'll be sharing the details.
Okay.
The president will be around, everybody from the National Executive Committee, they will be here.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have targeted, this is a provincial one.
Yes.
It's not a national one.
Yes.
Okay. And I gave you a chance to correct anything that was in the previous
Yes.
podcast. So you did not specify on anything.
Yes.
What I heard you say was you are not the AEF. So
we are not the EFF.
yeah. So
remember the names are a little bit similar.
Yeah.
But the point is African economic freedom.
Yes.
And economic freedom fighters. Simply, it's not the same.
So the youth leader didn't speak anything about economy. Anything about the economy that you guys want to change because you are going for a ticket of change because you are tired of the ANC? What is it about the economic thing that you think you need to change?
When we go to the economic policy of the EFF, AEF, I will indicate that when you check the whole of Africa or South Africa in particular, we are rich in minerals. And those minerals that are not assisting the South African people. Mm-hmm. Basically because they have been taken to other countries, overseas, to be returned back in a form of gold, in a form of anything, a ring and whatsoever.
Yes.
But we are saying as the African economic freedom that all the minerals within the country need to benefit all the South Africans. Mm-hmm. And it is wrong to say South Africa belongs to all who live in it. South Africa must belong to all South Africans. It can't belong to everyone who is within South Africa. Okay. It is wrong, and that needs to be corrected.
Okay.
It is wrong to say your house belongs to everyone who comes in it.
Yes. So here's the question. Someone sitting at home will be like, Chabalala, Uchwakai. So I want to give you an opportunity to tell people where are you from and why do you speak like this? Because they say everyone living everyone living in Africa is an African. There's no foreigner in South Africa. Those debates will come. Just explain to yourself, where are you from and why do you consider yourself a South African?
Basically, I'm coming from Limpopo, in Bulawayo area.
Okay.
A place called Ramaphosa.
Ramaphosa
is where my parents were being born. I was also born there, grew up there. I attended school there. Then I came to stay in Joburg, in Tembisa particularly, basically because of some work reasons. Yeah, so basically that's who Given is.
So that's why you consider yourself a South African?
Yes.
So
and apart from that, I'm a Shangani.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Shangani people, they are basically from KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
Even now, I have families there in KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
In Newcastle and also in Ladysmith. I have family members there. So the issue of saying South African, you can't say a Nigerian is a South African.
Okay.
Because we got Nigeria, we got Angola, we got all these things. So that's why we call them Nigerians, is because they are from Nigeria. When we call South African, because they are within South Africa. Thank you.
So you specifically said you are Shangani, you did not say you are Tsonga. Do you want to correct that or it's fine? You want to explain?
No, it's fine to call me Shangani.
Okay.
Because in Natal, it be Shangani.
Yeah.
Yeah, but using the word Tsonga is still also correct.
It's correct.
There's no problem about that.
So let me understand.
Yeah. Mapedi, Shangan. So the Shangan in the Shangan is not the same.
Okay. Yeah. So Shangani obelas Tsonga or Shangani obelas Shangan?
Mina, I can say to you, I grew up in Bulawayo area.
Yes.
I studied Northern Suit.
Yes.
Yeah, so my language is Tsonga,
and particularly because of the area.
Yes.
Or Wabaklobedu.
Yeah, Gaba.
Yeah. So, but I want to understand this part. Umutsonga, Umushangani obelas Tsonga or Umushangani obelas Shangani?
Kumtsonga.
Mutsonga ubulela Setsonga.
Yeah.
Or Mutsonga ubulela Sechangane or
Yes.
Mutsonga ubulela.
Yeah.
I want you.
There is the Tsonga
Yes.
and the Shangani.
Yes.
It's similar. It's one thing.
Okay.
There is no different about
Okay,
that.
then
Yes.
it's fine. No, ke a leboga. So you are saying the economy of South Africa must be targeted strictly for South Africans.
The South African must be the priority.
Priority.
Yes.
Okay.
Even if you check the private sectors, the companies that people are working in, you find that companies currently will consider
Yeah.
to hire foreign drivers. I'll give you an example with logistic companies.
Tracking.
Yeah. Whenever they need drivers, they could prefer drivers from outside the country, basically because they don't want to give them a fair salary.
Yes.
Meaning when you come from outside, you can accept whatever salary, basically because you just only to put the bread
And
on
sleeping
the table.
conditions.
As long as you don't
Yes.
care. Even if there is no provision found in your salary and the stuff that you. But we are saying as the AEF to say whatever economic policy we are having, the first priority, the first people to benefit are South Africans. We are not saying we need to do away with Africans, but you must consider your children first before you consider the children of your neighbor.
I see you say if someone comes into South Africa without a work permit, that person must not be allowed. So if someone has don't want to talk about working visas. Someone has a student visa or someone has a visiting visa, and you find that that person came in as a visitor, but now they start working. What penalty do you guys think will suit the
as the
situation?
African economic freedom, we still going to have a policy conference where we shall be dealing with the issues of immigration, where issues of visa, issues of work permit will be debated, and we come up with a conclusion. But to the point, that, as I have said before, that our focus is that the economy of the country must benefit the citizens of the country before it benefit whoever is outside.
Okay. So you are going to the elections, but you still have doubts on how you are going to implement should you win. Do you not think that is worrisome?
No, it's not worrisome to us. We have a manifesto that has been launched yesterday in the Eastern Cape, and all provinces will be launching the manifesto, whereby even the economic issues will be debated within the manifesto, and that will be shared, and people will understand us better when we go to province by province and also go to regions by regions, word by word. People will be coming understanding the ideology of the African economic freedom.
Let's discuss the logo, and if people say yourselves, you look like EFF. Do you feel there are similarities?
Yes, even the...
Because in policy and what the thing that you guys articulate, there's nothing similar between yourself and EFF. But people will worry about the logos and the link between your president and EFF. Let's talk about the logos now, and then we'll come to other things later. Do you think, let's talk about the logos. Do you think the logos are EFF influenced?
No.
Your logo is different.
The logo is different because when you check the EFF, that logo has a spear in the middle, and our logo has a hand and the African map.
Okay.
So that's the difference. Even the colors are not the same.
The colors are,
Yes.
the Africa is green, and it's got a yellow color inside.
Yes.
And you almost have the same font, and the name looks strangely very familiar. You want to explain
the name? No, okay. On the name, I will say they are economic freedom fighters, which means they are fighting for freedom.
Yes.
I would take it like that.
Yes.
To say they are economic freedom fighters. We are African economic freedom.
Yeah.
Our drive is to say we welcome the political freedom. But when we check the economic freedom within our country, within all the African continent, we still not free economically. That's why we are drawing our inspiration. That's why we are drawing our ideas to say, let us push the agenda of economic freedom.
Yes.
Thank you.
The issues regarding the Bible, what from the Bible are you going to put into your politics? Any inspiration from the Bible that you're going to put in? Because there is, I spoke to many of your members and followers and potential voters. They seem to be influenced a lot by Christianity.
Okay.
Yes. You come from a Christian background. Your president comes from a Christian background. The family and the people that all of them have met, they speak Christianity. What is it from the Christianity that you are going to bring into your politics?
I'm not understanding your question.
The question is, the gentleman who came, he spoke a lot about church. He spoke about a lot of the right leaders who are going to bring God into politics of South Africa and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm giving you an opportunity to say, Mashian wants me to correct something about the previous speaker. Yeah, about the Bible. What is it that you would want to correct? If there isn't anything, no problem.
No, it's like let me put it this way to say, when we go to a biblical point of view, is that the AEF is going to bring in a godly government, whereby issues of corruption will be dealt with.
Through God?
Yes, because you see, when you appoint people who fear God in positions of ministers, in position that maybe they need to provide services to the municipalities, provinces and everything. When you put people who fear God, it's also assisting and trying to minimize the issue of corruption. Because if you see our country, when you check the countries, that it's not to say they are failing to balance the issues of economy, but the high level of corruption is the main enemy within the current government. So when the AEF takes over, we will make sure that we send the right people into government positions in order to accelerate service delivery, in order to minimize the issues of corruption that are happening within the country in every corner. Yes.
So it says the EAF intends to establish a godly fearing government and good moral, ethical and principle value leadership to serve our people.
Yes.
Do you think Mapisa Ngakula doesn't fear God?
Who?
Mapisa Ngakula, the Speaker of Parliament.
Yes.
Do you think she doesn't fear God?
That is another language for another day. But I will say
it's not, because
I will say, when you check all the government officials currently, most of them are involved in corruption, including...
I think you are missing my point.
Yeah.
My point is, you said you are going to use God-fearing people.
Yes.
Because you want to root out corruption.
Yes.
So Mapisa Ngakula is alleged to be corrupt and she could be arrested as we speak.
Yes.
So I'm asking you, do you think she's not God-fearing?
She's not.
She's not God-fearing?
No.
So you think everyone who's alleged to be corrupt or who has been corrupted is not God-fearing?
Yes, but in the meantime, I must indicate everyone need to be proven first to say is corrupt. Because the allegations doesn't simply mean you are corrupt.
Okay.
Like when you talk about the national speaker, Mapisa Nukule, currently she's undergoing some arrest and stuff, but I heard this morning she handed herself over to the police station.
Yeah, she's not arrested.
Yes.
She's just going through the process so she can go to court.
Yeah, so until she's proven otherwise, then we say she's corrupt.
So your language doesn't differ too much from what the ANC is doing.
We
doesn't differ a lot from what the ANC is doing.
We are far different.
Distinct difference between yourselves.
Because the ANC will deploy people knowing they're corrupt.
Yeah.
The ANC will deploy people knowing they're corrupt, including the president.
Okay.
Yes. Because any money that comes within the country in a form of dollar need to be cleared by SARS.
Are you saying Cyril Ramaphosa is corrupt?
He's corrupt.
You just told me now that everyone who's alleged to be corrupt must be proven first. Who proved Ramaphosa is corrupt?
The fact that the dollars landed in his house,
it's not a
and
fact.
it was not cleared.
It's not a fact. It hasn't been tested. So I'm asking you. You said Ramaphosa is corrupt.
Yes.
But in the same interview that I'm sitting with you, within 3 minutes, you told me that anyone who's alleged to be corrupt must be tested in court so we can see that he's corrupt or not.
By law.
Do you want to withdraw that allegation against the person of the president?
Yes, but my point is
no.
By law.
Before you come to your point,
Yeah.
you said yes. Do you want to withdraw that allegation? Because it's an allegation. You said
Yes.
Ramaphosa is
Yes.
corrupt.
Yes.
So you are withdrawing.
Yes.
He's not corrupt.
He's corrupt.
But you just told me. So
What do
in
you
other
say?
words, allegations.
Yeah.
Are allegations that someone is corrupt. Okay. Because you just told us that EAF will wait for someone to be proven in court,
Yeah.
or they are corrupt.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
And then I said, well, I feel like our Fapanili ANC because you wait.
Oh.
But then now what change? You say Ramaphosa is corrupt because he brought dollars.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know of that fact. I know the allegation.
Yes.
So I'm not defending Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
I just want you to be consistent. Is Ramaphosa corrupt?
According to my statement, he's not.
He's not corrupt.
Yes.
Okay, so you are withdrawing the statement to say
Yes.
Ramaphosa is
Yes.
corrupt. Okay, so in other words, we only call people corrupt after they come back from court.
Proven by law.
Proven.
Yeah.
Is Jacob Zuma corrupt?
Yeah, I will say Zuma is one of the leaders involved in a lot of allegations, but I think he was never been proven.
So you're saying
Yeah, I see you're putting me in a corner.
it's not a corner.
Allegations and
remember,
yeah.
I said you speak, now ask questions
Yeah.
about what you spoke about.
Yeah.
So you think Zuma is not corrupt?
Yeah, I feel it's not corrupt
He's not corrupt.
until proven so.
So what is corruption?
Corruption is any activity that is against the rule of law.
Okay, let's follow logic.
Yeah.
Do you know Shabir Sheikh?
Yes.
So Shabir Sheikh was convicted. He's a convicted fraudster.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Do you know which political person was he found guilty for having corrupted?
Yes.
Who was that?
It's Zuma.
So, by law, you can't be a corrupter without corrupting anyone. So he corrupted Jacob Zuma.
Yes.
Yes. So, do you not want to safely say Jacob Zuma is corrupt? Because the courts, according to your statement,
If the court
have found
has proved that
Yes.
Shabir Sheikh and Zuma are corrupt.
No.
Yeah.
The logic is Jacob Zuma
Yeah.
was in a corrupt relationship with Shabir Sheikh. That's what the court found, because they found Shabir Sheikh to be corrupt, and they sent him to jail for that.
Yes.
Yes, because he was in a corrupt relationship with. So if the person who he corrupted is still in existence. Is he a corrupter or a corruptee or a corrupter or a corrupter?
No,
Tell me.
he's a corrupt person.
He's a corrupt person.
Yes.
So we can state it on record to say Jacob Zuma is
Yeah,
corrupt.
he's corrupt.
Okay, no, it's fine. Then I understand the way
Yeah.
the EAF considers and looks at people who are corrupt.
Yeah.
The reason this is important is because the ANC keeps saying they want to deal with corruption. But when there's someone who has allegations of corruption come, say, no, wait, let's wait for. Do you know Tony Yengen?
You will understand how the ANC operate.
Teach me.
You must understand how the ANC
Because you were a member of the ANC.
Yeah, when you check the scandal,
Yeah.
it's the very same ANC who went and defended Zuma.
Yes.
The very same ANC that is crying today that they made a mistake
Yes.
on the Ikanda scandal.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that is how the ANC operate. They will go and stand with their leader,
Yeah.
and protect their leader, knowing that this particular leader is corrupt.
Do you know Tony Yengen?
But that is not my focus. My focus is the African economic freedom will bring in people who will bring a godly government and ensure there is service and smooth service delivery to all society.
Do you know Tony Yengen?
Yes.
Tony Yengen was convicted for corruption.
Yes.
So Tony Yengen is a member of the ANC, right? Do you think they forgot about it or they forgave him?
It's not a matter of forgetting or forgiving.
Yeah.
It's a matter of saying they are protecting their member.
So you are saying ANC works with corrupt people?
They protect them.
All right, it's
Yes.
fine. All these questions, I want you to understand that are giving us insight about your organization.
Yes.
So all people in your organization, EAF, are they people who are good in community? Are they good standing people? Are they upright people in community? They don't have criminal records. They have been vetted. The parliamentary list. Did you submit the list?
We submitted the parliamentary list.
Okay.
And we made some researches.
Yes.
As far as issues of criminal charges,
Yes.
issues of anything that goes with.
So the
with
organization
crime.
is not in.
Yeah, anything that
embarrassed.
deals with standing against the rule of law.
Yeah.
And we have found that we are clean.
Okay.
But I must indicate that most of our candidates, they are the young people. And part of them, they are bishops. Part of them, they are people who are within the community leaders, serving the community currently. And we believe that we have the right people that will govern this country and move this country in the right direction.
What number are you on that list?
On the
parliamentary list?
in the province, I'm number 1.
Okay.
In Gauteng. And then as far as the national list and the provincial list, there are some differences. So that is the thing.
Okay.
I'm only number 1 in the province.
Okay.
Yes.
So meaning that should you get the threshold, you would be the first in the legislature of EAF. Do you know how many numbers do you need to get to secure 1 seat in the province of Gauteng, in Gauteng?
Yes, we have worked around numbers and to secure a seat within Gauteng, we must get plus minus 50,000 votes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Which we are prepared to work hard. We are prepared to be on the ground and to get even more than that, because our target is not to get 1 seat. Our target is to take over the whole of Gauteng from the ANC, from the DA, and from the EFF.
You are 1 year old.
Yes.
Do you know the ELF?
The?
ELF.
Who is that?
So the ELF is almost 1 year old in terms of their registration as a political party.
Yes.
They told me they are almost 10 years old. But as a political party, they are about 1 year old. So they look similar to EFF.
Okay.
And like yourselves, they had to change logos so they don't look like someone else. How many times have you changed your logo?
Our logo was never changed.
Okay.
So I must be clear. When we started the process of registration, there was a challenge coming from the EFF.
Okay.
To say you are still in our logo.
Did they put that after it was gazetted? They were querying your gazette. They were opposing.
They were opposing it within the IEC.
Okay.
But they never came to us directly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But it was successful.
Yes.
So there's nothing that said you must change, and then you didn't.
We never
change.
changed everything.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that we submitted is still the same.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you win those votes, do you think you could have confused electorate?
How?
People are saying there are certain parties that won elections by confusing people who are voting. They would think you are EFF, and then they will vote for you.
On our side,
Yeah.
there won't be any confusion for anyone.
Okay.
Because we have our logo. We'll be having people ready to vote for us.
Okay.
In all regions within Gauteng, in all wards, in all sub-regions, in all voting stations. There will be people who are saying, we are going to vote for the African economic freedom.
Okay.
So there won't be any confusion about
Okay,
to say
so
people have been confused.
So unlike the ELF, you guys did not have to struggle with changing logos.
We never struggled.
You spoke about you've got a youth, a Christian base of youth that you're going to send to Parliament. You've got someone in your party who comes from the LGBTI community.
Who comes from?
The LGBTI community.
What is that?
So that is people who are gays, lesbian, intersex, transsexual.
This thing of homosexual and stuff?
Yes.
No, we don't have.
You don't have?
No.
Would you welcome someone like that in your... If they discover, for instance, that Fiso Mthethwa is a lesbian man, would he find the same support?
I'm of the view that
I know he's not.
Yeah, he's not. From my point of view or my biblical knowledge, remember I'm a pastor.
Sure.
We can't judge people.
Yes.
But we need to be realistic.
Okay.
Judgment and being realistic need to be separated somewhere to say what happened for someone to become a lesbian.
He was born that way.
I have never met a child born to say this child is a lesbian.
You have never?
I've never seen that.
So in your...
Most of the people, they become gays, they become lesbian when they're grown up. I remember one of the old white men.
Even yourself,
yeah,
you had to reach puberty to start showing your sexual preference. So meaning that no one can be gay at crash. You could see maybe feminine side, but the sexuality can't be seen from crash and preschool because they're still kids. Now you were not showing, but for sexual maturity, it's done when people reach puberty and start acting out their stuff. So when I say they were born that way, all I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily mean that these people grew normal and they made a decision somewhere in their life, Chabalala. No, they didn't make a decision. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm not saying there are others
It's
who are not
happening
faking.
naturally,
Yes.
or it be a choice, or what?
Yeah, I think people are not fake. People don't deliberately go out to deceive people that they are gay. They don't do it. And I'm not saying there are people who don't. All I'm saying is there are people who grow up with those feelings.
Yes, but you must also acknowledge that the issue of homosexual is something that stands on the way of God, and also is a program coming from the USA, coming from Europe, introducing it within the African continent mostly. It's not something that can happen deliberately. It's something that is a program. There are people who are running that program, and they're capturing people to go and support those programs. So as the African economic freedom, we're not going to judge people, but we don't support any program that deals with homosexual.
So in other words, like your Uganda, your Kenya, who seems to see the community as being sponsored and pushed by the West.
Yes.
You see that is good. So if you take government, you will also reject these kind of programs. Né? I understand where you come from, because what I wanted to be clear, I'm not saying, and don't confuse me, I'm not saying, hey, Chabalala, man, when I listen, man, you must welcome these people. I don't want you to do that.
Yes.
All I'm saying is be clear how you relate with them. So I understand your stance, because biblically, the Bible is, there are people who want to say it doesn't, blah, blah, blah. I've not seen anything in the Bible that promotes homosexuality. Yeah, if someone sees it, please educate us. I've not seen anything. So all I'm saying is, you, AEF, should you take over government, will you cancel gay marriage? If you take 2/3 majority and you've got the power to change things that are wrong.
There are things that if we take the government, we are going to change. There are things that we cannot change, but there are things that we aim to change.
That's exactly what I'm asking. You get
on the issue of homosexual.
Yeah.
If they were getting married before, automatically we're not gonna change that.
Okay.
But if someone comes within the government of the AEF and say, we want to get married, we want to be getting married man to man, I think as a godly government, we're not going to support that.
Okay.
That must be clear.
So your church, in your church, if a bishop is coming from your church and the bishop is gay, would you promote that? Would you welcome that person?
No.
And if in your government you don't stop it, né? If in your government you don't stop it, do you think it's a problem? Because in your church you'll be stopping them, but in your government that is based on your church doesn't stop them. Do you not see its inconsistency there?
All I'm saying is, if it happened before,
okay,
like maybe
so meaning
before the election,
if the law found the law like that, you're not going to change.
We're not going to change it.
Okay.
But when we have the powers to change the constitution, maybe having a 2/3 majority, we now have the powers to change everything within the constitution.
Please, let's talk about land. The EFF has 7 cardinal pillars. The strongest among them is the land. And strategic sectors of the economy, or as it goes on with other cardinal pillars. So I've spoken to you, I've not heard about the land. I know you talk about the land, but I'm not happy the way you are articulating land. You're talking about doing the land audit. You're talking about certain types of land. I've spoken with ELF. I understand fully what they want to do to achieve land, because they are very clear. I've not gotten anything clear from you. I know what the EFF wants to do about the land. I've not had an opportunity. Please sell the land story from your side.
On the issue of the land, as the African economic freedom, we believe the land needs to be shared to all South Africans, especially the disadvantaged, who are the black people. They need to be given back the land, either in a form of given freely or in a form of land being expropriated without compensation. That is where the African economic stand when it comes to the issue of land. Because when you check the issue of land, blacks have been robbed for the very same land that you are asking me about. I will show you part of the sections in Tembisa, where I'm staying. You see this room that we are in. You find that this is a stand for one person. Then you travel to that side next to the airport when you're going to OR Tambo. You will find a big farm. A big farm
Vacant.
occupied by one white man. So we are saying that land needs to be used for housing purposes, for people who don't have their own place to stay. Because you find a family of 5 staying in one roof because of lack of land. So we are saying as the African economic freedom, land needs to be given back to all the disadvantaged people, all the black people who have the land been stolen from them.
ELF has told me and I understand. EFF has told me and I understand. The mechanics, tell me operationally, how are you going to do it?
Operationally?
Yes, so this is what we are going to do. We are going to take land from this, blah, 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 blah. Because what you just told me, I will say the EFF and the ANC are busy in Parliament. They are busy failing to give it, to give us land in that, in the way that you are doing. The EFF and ANC, they are currently failing. It's been 30 years. ANC failing to give us land in that fashion that you are pushing. So you are going to fail the same way as they do. But I have to give freedom. I have to give ELF confidence in this matter. They will not. The way they are so convincing, they convince. I just don't want to tell you how they say they are going to do. But I'm very convinced that should they take power, and they can start doing it, even if they don't take power. But once they have influence, they can expand land to people. But let's hear from you.
As the African economic freedom, the issue of land is not going to be discussed, because if we have a 2/3 majority, we will be able to change the constitution and automatically change the land policy and give people the land.
So you can only give people land if you get 75% of the vote?
Yes.
All right, no, thanks.
Thank
I
you.
think let's pass from that one. What about banks and the Reserve Bank, banks owned by the government of South Africa, and what's your economic policy there?
Our economic policy is that the banks need to be within the government. The banks need to assist everyone.
So what do you mean? You mean Capitec must be owned by government?
Yes. No, but not
FNB must be
specifically,
owned by government.
not specifically Capitec, because Capitec just started now. Let's talk about the Reserve Bank.
But the Reserve Bank is not a commercial bank. I'm talking about a bank that affects you and I, where I've got an account. I don't have an account in Nago Reserve Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, so what banks must be owned by government?
The banks need to be owned by government. Let's start with the ABSA. Let's move to
So
FNB.
as the AEF government will take ABSA, will take Capitec, will take FNB,
Yes.
will take Nedbank.
Yeah.
and then they will be owned by government.
Yes.
So it could help people.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason is that once they're private, remember, everything that is private currently is not helping the majority of the people,
Okay.
especially blacks.
Okay, that's why you want to take all
Yes.
these banks
Yes.
so they can be owned by
Yes.
government.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know what law are you going to use to pass that, to make it happen?
On the issue of law, we're still deliberating on that.
Okay.
We're going to, like I said before, that we're going to have a policy conference. Hence, we are launching the manifesto on the 6th of April.
On Tuesday next week,
Yes.
the MK is going to go into FNB. They are going there to tell them that stop harassing Jacob Zuma. If they don't listen, they will physically take their bank cards and cut it. The MK is straightforward. They are telling them that if after 7 days you have not complied with our demands on Jacob Zuma, we are coming back, we're going to cancel all our contracts. Let me tell you, as an African man, I'm tired of people who are marching. I want people who do something. Marching to FNB, for example, it's just, for me, it's just
a march, yeah.
Yeah, it's immaterial.
Yeah.
What I like about what MK is doing, at least they're gonna tell them what they will do. And I hope for you and I, for both us as Africans, if they don't accede to the demands of MK, they must close all. In fact, wonke amaZulu, those who say they support Jacob Zuma, they must stop their association with that bank. That's what we as African people want, to stop begging. If someone does not do right by us, we cut our association with them. What is it about AEF?
It's because of the services or what?
Yeah, no. They closed Jacob Zuma Bank. So that's why they are. What is it about AEF?
Remember, that one is it is a court order. So
Yeah.
marching to FNB,
Yeah.
to me, is useless.
No, but let's see how
Because it's a court order. The FNB did not make a decision. The decision was made by the court.
No problem. No problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying someone is right, someone is wrong. I'm saying, as African people, if we say McDonald's doesn't serve morogo, mara in China, it serves them their traditional food.
Okay.
Yeah, you would find mirogo in their food. You would find noodles in their food. In KFCs all over the world, they would do that. In South Africa, we've got pap, right? And South Africans say, hey, we need morogo inside McDonald's. If McDonald's doesn't want to do that, South Africans can mobilize each other and stop buying McDonald's. Do you understand where I'm going? Do you have that kind of mobilization as AAF? Or you also want to march?
No, we're not supporting that idea. Like I said before, our approach
is not to fight.
It's not violence.
You want to pray.
Yeah, because let me say, if maybe they are going there to cause violence, or maybe you're saying the thing you're saying about McDonald's, to say if it's not supplying more, then McDonald's must close.
Yes, but remember, when they say close, I'm not saying they must physically close it.
Yeah.
They, African people, stop buying there.
Oh.
Do you understand? They must stop buying there. So
Okay.
yes, so it collapses.
So,
it will close.
so that is a calculated risk. It's a calculated risk, basically, because the very
So
same.
do you care about
the very same African people who are the one working at McDonald's? It means they will be unemployed.
So you are saying capital companies, as long as they can, white monopoly capital, as long as they can employ African people, they've got the right to abuse African people?
Not basically.
Because you'll be afraid.
We
if you
are
touch
saying,
them, you're touching.
as the African economic program, we are saying, let's get a better approach on the matter. Let's get a better approach on the matter.
What
because
would be a better approach?
The best approach could be to say, let's say maybe we send a memorandum to the very same McDonald's, you're
Yes.
saying, or the very same FMB you're saying,
Yes.
to say, this is what we want, this is what we're expecting from you.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Let's leave that because
Yes.
we're not gonna win.
Yes.
So, would you take a sangoma if Sfiso Mthethwa becomes a sangoma, he accepts his calling and he becomes a sangoma? Would you still allow him to be the leader of the party? Because you are Christian based. Remember, I'm asking you all of this question because I'm trying to think of the EAF leadership, how they relate with other people who are not Christians.
Okay.
So if someone is a sangoma, would you welcome him?
Yes.
What is the difference between a sangoma and someone who is lesbian in terms of the church? Because
the difference
the
is-
church, so before you answer, the church does not want sangomas. Okay. We are clear now. The Bible does not want sangomas. The Bible does not want gays and lesbians. So why do you selectively penalize the gays because you are using the Bible, but a sangoma you're not penalizing them, but they're the same thing from the Bible? Why do you condone this one?
I will take you through. I will take you through the organization called the Interfaith. Interfaith simply means all those organizations that worship, either in the form of worshiping God or in the form of worshiping ancestors. There is an area where they meet.
It's a cop-out. It's a
So
cop-out. I
when-
want you
when-
to confine yourself to the examples I gave you.
Remember, the EF is open for everyone to join.
Okay.
Yes.
We agree.
Hence, when it's open for everyone to join, hence, our mission is to produce a godly government.
Yes.
Yes.
So can you produce a godly government if
A Sangoma comes in.
yeah.
No, remember, when a Sangoma comes in, it doesn't automatically put a Sangoma into becoming a minister of the government of the African Economic
No.
Community.
Remember, if you don't stop them from coming in, they can come in numbers and take over the Sangoma, president, deputy president, yaba the
But we automatically, as the African Economic Freedom, we will have a mechanism how do we work things around when that comes around.
So you are saying, in other words, it won't be a favorable conditions when sangomas and gay people are in leadership. Maybe they dominate the leadership. They will shift the goal of AEF.
No, it won't be a favoritism thing.
Okay.
But remember, there are always things that will be said about whatever you do good or you do bad.
Yeah.
Whether they're gonna say you favor this one, you don't favor this one. That will happen even if we don't do it.
I don't think you got my question. My question is, because you allow them in, once they are in, you can't say, hey, whenever we are not giving you position because you are gay, whenever we are not giving you position because you are a sangoma. So meaning that if you find yourself in a situation where majority of your leaders are gays and sangomas, which are against your Bible that you are using, what will then happen? Will it be favorable now? Do you think you will still achieve the same godly?
No, to answer your question,
Yeah.
apart from being biblical as the African Economic Freedom, we also have to be constitutional.
Of course, that part you already answered.
Which
That's why you
somewhere
can't stop them.
the constitution of the movement need to be applicable to all members, and it must be upheld. We are not saying because we are from a biblical background, then we're going to uphold all the biblical rules and the stuff. But what is paramount and what is compulsory is to say the constitution of the African Economic Freedom is paramount.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in other words, you won't stop them from joining,
Yes.
and if they dominate the leadership rules, you won't have a problem.
We're not going to have a problem.
No, thank you very much.
Constitutionally so.
Yeah. So you are forced by the constitution.
Maybe you find a Sangoma is a provincial chair.
Yes.
then automatically, if maybe you have to move into the era of being a premier,
Yes.
and there's nothing you can do. That's what the Constitution says.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
The economy of South Africa depends on South Africans working. We currently have Spaza shops. I spoke to someone who told me that the problem with Spaza shops is it's an industry that is about almost 150 billion rands. Let me repeat. It's an economy that that surpasses our biggest retailer in South Africa. Is beaten. That economy is beaten by Spaza shops. What is your plan about Spaza shops?
The plan about Spaza shop is to say all the young people within the country, those who are, mostly you could check, most of them that are moving into these grant things and stuff, those are the right people to be owning those Spaza shops. We're not gonna do away with Spaza shop, but we need to make sure that they are done legally and they are saving the right stuff. Like when you check, most of the Spaza shop are being owned by these Ethiopian guys. And you find that part of your food are rotten, part of the food is expired, which means it is not safe even to send your kids there to buy, even if you cannot control them, because some of them, you buy them in ShopRite, then when they ask money, they go to buy to the shop, to a special shop. But most of the food there, they are not safe. So the African economic freedom will make sure that the rule of law is applied.
What is the rule of law saying now?
The rule of law is to show that all the Spaza shops are registered, businessmen, people, they are registered, they are under the government, and they are monitored.
So on Spaza shops, nothing will change if the EFF comes into. Because that's what the ANC is doing. It says as long as they are registered, it's fine.
The only thing that will change within the African economic is that there will be more monitoring as to ensure that the food that are served there, the food that are served there,
okay. So you'll just monitor.
Yes.
You are more like Ramaphosa, who went to a Spaza shop and wanted to buy a shirt, and he asked that guy if he's registered. The guy said yes, and there was business as usual. He wasn't worried.
Oh.
So this is the stand that you guys are taking. You said you want to change the economy to African people, but you don't mind if Ethiopians dominate that. Ethiopians and Somalis and Pakistanis dominate that 150 something billion industry. You don't mind as long as they're registered.
We mind.
But you said as long as they're registered.
No, we mind. What we're going to do, those Spaza shops must be owned by South Africans.
Oh, now you are changing.
Yes.
Now you make sense.
No, I'm not changing.
So, no,
I'm saying.
I thought you said as long as they're registered.
Okay, yes.
I thought you said as long as they're registered.
Oh, I thought they must be registered.
Yes, you said they must be registered.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. But by South Africans.
Yes.
So
and it must belong to South Africans.
So in other words, if AEF comes into power, Spaza shops will no longer be owned by foreigners.
Yes.
Are you aware that in Zimbabwe, Spaza shops, you are not allowed as a South African to have Spaza shop there in Harare?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that is the fact.
Okay.
And the minister has stated that even in other countries.
Okay.
So you are saying in the EAF government, Spaza shops will be owned by only South Africans?
Yes.
All right. No, thank you. I think we've come to the end of the podcast. Is there anything that you want to say to your...
Yeah, the only thing that I wanted to explore more is the manifesto launch that will be happening on the 6th of April, 2024, here in Atteridgeville. So we're asking all people within Pretoria, within the province of Gauteng, to come in large numbers to hear what we're going to tell them about the African economic freedom. The president will be there. All our national leaders will be there.
Am I welcome to come and cover the event?
You are also welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ralebo, thanks for coming.
Thanks so much.
Itada.
God bless you.